Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Ba'ashem Adawach double honor unto the elder apostles at great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, yesterday evening, at night actually, I stopped the video and I went until verse 20, but now I'm gonna just read the rest, feel like it. Ezekiel chapter 23, titled The Two Adulterous Sisters. Now, this is not talking about individually, but you did have individuals that actually did this, as well as the men of Israel and as well as the daughters of Israel. The daughters of Jacob and the men of Jacob, the Israelites. We did do these things in the physical form, but it's talking about as a nation. Going on. So Ezekiel 23 and 21. Dost thou call us to remembrance the lewdness of thy youth? So our people was really fantasizing and desiring and loving the things that they did while we were in Mizraim, while we were in the land of Canaan, amongst the Canaanites doing the Canaanite things, and also amongst the people of Mizraim doing the Mizraim things, which is Leviticus chapter 18 verse 3. After the doings of the land of Mizraim, wherein ye dwelled, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. So the things of Egypt we shouldn't do. For example, the golden calf thing, they got that from the people of Mizraim when they came out of Egypt. Egypt is a land, Mizraim is a people, but this word is actually changed from Mizraim to Egypt so that you will get a land in your head instead of a people. When you type in the word, let me see, maybe they put it. When you type in the word Mizraim, you should get this in your head. You should get this in your head. But they made it to where this is Cush. You can see their hair texture, what race they are. American Jacob. This is not a fucking Hamite. This is a Jacob descendant. He looks like that actor Idris Elba or something like that. But yeah, he's a West African Jacob descendant. He is not a Hamite. But anyway, so what the Israelites now in America are finding out is that these Ethiopians, this is a Cushite. You can just see the hair. Just look at the hair texture. These Cushites, they're finding out that the Somalians actually, there's different forms of them, because in the scriptures it said that the Sabians, we will sell slaves unto them. The Sabians are the same people of Sheba, the queen of Sheba, sorry. If I'm correct, there's two of them. There's Sheba and there's Seba and there's Sheba. One of them. Here. You have Seba and you have Sheba. I kind of forgot which one it was, but I did a video on it to explain it really good, Lord willing. And you can catch that here. So if you go to this one here, Isaiah 45, and then you have here Sabians, right? And you click on this one, Hebrew 5436, Hebrew 5436, Sabians, the people of Seba, and click on the root word thereof. Seba, son of Cush, yeah. What? Well, let me see. 34. It's this one. Okay, this one. This one is the one. Sorry. Of Queen. I'm thinking. Queen Sheba. Where's that again? So if you look up the word Sheba, it says here Hebrew 7614. And if you look at the one of Genesis. Okay, damn it. Sorry. The one of Genesis. Let me just grab that real quick. Gen 10. The Sheba there is oh yeah, this one. So no, I was wrong. Like I said, I did a video about it, but there I explained it real thoroughly, Lord willing, of course. I explained it slowly so that you can understand. But the point is that here, this is the Sheba that Queen of Sheba is a part of. She's from that one. But this Seba, which is 5434, Hebrew 5434, and this one is 5436. This is the one. 36. So 543. Wait a minute. 5434 is basically 5436 also, but it's a little bit. I don't know how to explain it to you, but look, if I click on this, yeah, 5436 Hebrew the Strongs, 5436, and then it shows you toward the root word of it, which is 5434. That's the root word etymology. And if you want to know what the etymology means, oh yeah, it says it right here. I wanted to actually go here because this is the website of it itself. It's a very good website, by the way. They changed it. It used to look different. But it says here, it's the same thing. The study of the origin of words. So basically that. But you can read the rest, of course, you know. And the way in which their meanings have changed throughout history. For example, the word gay. Or the word cigar, here, gay. It used to mean full of joy, merry, lighthearted, carefree. That's why they call themselves gay, because it's, but also wanton and lewd and lascivious. Lascivious. That's new. This one is new, because the scripture speaks about gay clothing. And that is something to be seen as something honorable, you know? And you have respect to him that wear the gay clothing. It's not talking about, they changed it. That's the point. Just like how they changed here. You have the word cigar. Now they know that cigar was in the 1800s so associated with what? Blackamoors and other dark-skinned foreigners. What is a blackamoor? This. They're showing you that this is the statue that they changed into this, but it was actually this, the so-called black man. Now, I'm not saying that these are not Israelites. I'm saying that they put it in front of them, just like how they always do, and they set up the lighter ones against the darker ones. Why? That is the same thing that they did with in South America. They did that with the so-called house Negro versus the field Negro. They did that. They did it on purpose, and then the people themselves, they will start taking a liking toward it. Like, they're gonna start feeling themselves because they're favored. Therefore, they'd be like, see, the master likes me more. I'm more beautiful than you, and I'm better than you, and greater than you, and you know, I can fuck a little more, less aggressive than you, and stuff like that. So basically, they changed it. Just like how they have it. I'm gonna leave it right here. Sentence. I know I didn't spell it right. We exist, but I want the official thing. Yeah, here. Mexico finally recognizes its black citizens, and this they did in 2000. They got like 1.3 million, but they've been on purposely not recognizing them in the census on purpose. How are you hiding? I don't believe this number because they're not counting everything. Because there's certain places that people don't register their birth. So that's bullshit. These are most likely then, therefore, which I don't even believe 100%, but these are most likely the ones that are registered, like with the government and stuff like that. I know what I'm talking about because I'm from there. No, not from Mexico. South America. A lot of people don't do that. They live deep in the lands and stuff like that. They're not registered. Like, look, that whole registering thing, that's really Europe, America, Australia, and all these type of caucus type of countries and stuff like that. you know. The people in Japan and stuff like, well, that too a little bit, yeah, actually more, not more, but also, but I wanted to say China. People in China, Vietnam, Thailand and stuff like that, they don't have that like that, man. So you can't count them. You can't. They don't even know how many so-called illegal aliens are in America. How the hell you gonna know how many people are in the world? You don't even know how many people are in your country that you stole fair and square, by the way. So it says right here, the Mexican government recognizes in a national survey. So only then they recognize it, but only in 2000. Was it 10? I don't know if it was 10. It was 16, because I don't know how you spell that. Oh, census, okay. Yeah, 2020, 2015. Wait, let me see. Yeah, here. 2015, because I remember seeing that, and I was like, huh? I never know that they didn't do that. Anyway. So, they were there too. And a lot of them, not a lot of them, I should say. Let me say it better. You had Judites flee from America into the South America and then stayed there into Mexico and stuff like that. And of course you have them also going all the way down to South America, you know, deeper in the woods and stuff like that, and are still there until this day. So you have Judites over there too. But you had the other tribes there too. The 10 tribes were there too. But that's another story. But the Dutch and the German, they show you this. And the Italian. The Blackamoor is more Italian. No, not more Italian. But if you type that, you will get more Italian type of stuff, you know. But let me stop that. The point is, this is the etymology or etymonline. But this is the etymology of words. So if you look up this word cigar, then you will get this. You will get this. Because they're going to show you the history behind that word. Like I said, here, if you do the Dutch smoking Moor, you will get this, the so-called black man. They call them the Caribbean Moors or the smoking Moor. And yeah, here you have Utrecht. You have also Amsterdam. Look, this one is from Utrecht. Den Haag. Amsterdam. But you also had the Native Americans with the yellow hair, and they called them, they called the brand the smoking Moor, yes, but still they were dark skinned too, but they have the straight hair. So I'm not saying they wasn't there. I'm saying just like how they talk about Black Lives Matter, I'm not down with that shit because that's some caucus devil shit, but I'm talking about the message. They say Black Lives Matters. They're not saying all the other lives doesn't matter, but people are still, Black Lives Matter too. And they go bug wild crazy because they're too stupid to understand what is actually being said. Well, same thing here. Just because I am recognizing these ones and pushing forth for it also, that they were also there, doesn't mean I'm denying this one. That's just the stupidity of your mind. I didn't say that. But then again, you have to say it to the people that are too stupid, because I know the other people that I know that I talk with or about and stuff, that I talk this about, so I talk about this with them, they know what I mean. So it's just the individuals and stuff like that. That's why you need to be ruled over. That's why Esau is spanking you, you dumb fuck. You know? If you just look at these people, you'd be like, y'all need a leader or something like that, because y'all can't think for yourselves. See? And those most likely are the people that will fight against you for saying that Esau does not get the salvation. You know, shouldn't, and neither should the Ishmaelites, because they want to steal the name Moor. You have to remember, the Ishmaelites, they want to steal being Egyptians, like Mizraim. They want to steal that. They want to also steal the Lebanon, because Lebanon is also Canaan. The Sidonians were there. And other Canaanites. But Tyre and Sidon, those are two Sidonian cities. Yeah, the Sidonian. First King speaks about that. For a lot of people, they don't know. Let me see. A lot of people don't know that the king of Tyre is actually a Sidonian. So here, Hiram. In other chapters, it's spelled Huram. First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, First Kings, Second Kings. They kind of switch names sometimes, just like how the New Testament switch names. And then you might get confused, like, who's this talking about? It's talking about the same person. A lot of times, actually. But anyway, so the king of Tyre. So what did he send? He sent people from Tyre. So First Kings chapter 5. And by the way, this is Tyre if you did not know. Let me see here. Palestine, no. I think it's here. Okay. Oh, sorry. I need to go up in the other chapter, actually, Ezekiel. But wait, let me finish this off. This is Tyre. So yeah, this is Sidon. Here is Sidon. Here is Tyre. And here are the children of Gabal, which they named Byblos. And they also renamed this place the Phoenicians. They renamed it, but the Phoenicians didn't call themselves that. And they show you that they didn't call themselves that. But they refused to call them by their own name, which is Canaan, because then, therefore, they would have to admit that a lot of things that they stole is from Canaan, is from a Hamite. And also Mizraim. They would, oh yeah, here it says Phoenician heartland here. But if you look at other maps, it will say Phoenicians. You won't know that it's talking about Canaan. But this is the prince of Tyre here. He was here. But here is his brothers. Well, it's not, yes, you can say it. Let me just read it. First Kings chapter 5. Is it brother city or daughter city? Sister cities, sorry. If you read the book of Joshua 21, you will see that the cities were called daughters. This is a daughter of that. And for example, here. Here. So this is a main city with walls, right? And this is then therefore a daughter city. Why? Because the people, let's say there's 50 houses here, but then, it's not going to be able to grow further because it has a wall. So the people that will be continually born in there will start to venture out into other places. And then that would be a daughter city of, in this case, it's Nineveh, what it says right here. But it will be then the daughter cities of Nineveh. And you can catch that here for explanation. Joshua 21. And then you can see here, verse 13. Thus they gave to the children of Aaron the priest, Hebron, with her suburbs, to be a city of refuge for the slayer, for example. This is a topic, another topic, but still, the point is, and Libna with her suburbs, and Jatir with her suburbs. These are all cities and her suburbs, the little suburbs that were there. And you can also catch that in the book of Genesis chapter 49. Genesis 49, when it speaks about Joseph. Genesis 49:22. Joseph is a fruitful bow. What is a bow? A bow, when you see it in the physical form, when you just read it, it's talking about a branch, right? He's a fruitful branch, okay? When you read that, okay, going on. And if you read it like this, but I'll get to it later. So even a fruitful bow by a well, right? And what is a well? A well is a place where water springs forth, and therefore, Psalms 1:1, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the heavenly Father, and his law doth in his law doth he meditate day and night. Here it comes. That's why I read it fast, so sorry about that. But I wanted to get the point out. I mean the leading up to it, I wanted to do it fast. Here's the point. 3. And he shall be like a tree, so that man that standeth not in the way of sinners, nor walketh in the counsel of the ungodly, If he does that and he delights in the law of the Lord and meditates in the law of the Lord day and night, and he shall be like a tree, that man shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Sorry. No. Hosea. I mistyped. Hosea 13:1. When Ephraim spake trembling. What type of trembling did Ephraim do? Oh shit, I made a mistake. What type of trembling did Ephraim do? Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom. Okay, just this point. Yeah, this is good too, of course. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. Instruction of the Bible. If I instruct you to be a super player and entice a lot of women and stuff like that. Here. Exodus 22:16. If a man entice a maid, right? You charm her, you lie to whatever you do, you talk the panties off of that girl, right? You attract her, you offer some pleasures, you know. I got some slang in size, you know. I could really bruise your teats, you know what I'm saying? I'm really forceful with it, you know? Yeah, they get, ooh, I would love to see that. I'm so tiny. Yeah, stuff like that. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, she is not engaged to no one, and lie with her, you pop that puss, because I'm gonna read about that word pop pussy and stuff like that. He shall surely endow her to be his wife. So you need to stay with her. You need to stay with her. You can't just one night stand, pop that pussy, and then you know, just like this female over here. You can't just do that. Huh? Why is it not? What? Where's the sound? Wait. Oh, I didn't have my speakers on.
At the end, as she would start oversharing quickly.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for...
Nostalgic is when you have something of the past. You should know that word already, but yeah. You know, it's really like you love it.
College. The top 4 songs when I came back for my sophomore year. Click, Pop That, Bands Make Her Dance, Birthday Cake, the 2 Chainz. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through. So it's like, oh.
Did you see that exhale? Right. So did you hear that exhale? I should say, basic man. Every time I look at that, I'll be like, Lord, some mercy. Like me. Wow. Okay. Cool. Damn it. Where was I? Where was I here? I think. Wow. Oh yeah, here. Thank you. Yeah. So Exodus 22:16, and if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed. So basically, on that one night stand, top up and pussy type thing, you shouldn't do that. You know, you should think about it. Wait a minute, ain't that a form of adultery? What I'm doing? So I'm passing on her. I'm you know. Just let me get there to you right here. Micah chapter 2. You can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. I think it's Micah chapter. No, it's Malachi. Malachi chapter. It starts actually here, which is talking about the spiritual adultery. Actually, married to the daughter of a strange god, married the daughter of a strange god, and stuff like that. It's talking about spiritual adultery, but still, it's in a physical form also, because it says here, for Yahweh, the power of Israel, said that he hated putting away. Matthew 5:32. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, if she committed adultery, or if she is a webcam whore, causeth her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced or put away, committed adultery. So you are provocating or how you call it? Activating? No. Advocating. You're provocating and advocating adultery. So, the Most High, Yahweh, the power of Israel, saith that he hated putting away. This is when you put away the wife of your covenant, which is this truth. For one covereth violence with his garment, saith Yahweh the Lord of hosts. I am army. He is army, sorry. Therefore, take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously with the wife of your youth, which is this truth, which is supposed to be loyal toward. I had a scripture for this one. I forgot it. I think it was in 20, maybe 20. No. Oh yeah, Isaiah 45:12. I have made the earth and created man upon it. I, even my hands, have stretched out the heavens, and all their host have I commanded. He is the army. If the army comes, he's it. He's it. He's the army. He comes upon you. And you can see that here too, for example. So the army, they already left from the army of Babylon, the king of Babylon. They already left. But what did the Lord do when they started sinning? Because they made a promise that they didn't keep. That's why Ecclesiastes chapter 5 says, don't swear, don't forswear yourself. That's why Yahweh Shai said in the book of Matthew 5, don't swear. Just say you're going to do it, or say you're not going to do it. Let your yea be yea and nay be nay. Don't swear. Don't take a vow, nothing. Verse 5, Ecclesiastes 5:5. It is better that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin, neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. So here, in Jeremiah 34, they swear. They did swear. Where is it here? They actually made a ritual. I'm looking for a word, actually a ceremony and stuff like that. They did a ceremony here, which people would call ritual or a rite. But yeah, nowadays, if you say ritual, it's just like saying, hey, I actually like the rainbow colors, actually. And actually I do. I got one here, right here. But that's not my choice. That's a software that I use. So it's an app that I use. So I have no control over that. But I like the color of the rainbow, but I won't be wearing it. But still, if you say something, if you say that without explaining it to them, they would think you're, this guy's Thong, man. It has nothing to do with that. So when you see a rainbow in the air after a rainy day, sometimes even in a sunny day, you can see it. And you say, hey, that's beautiful. When you see a rainbow in the air, does it automatically make you think of, oh, they probably kissing each other over there, that's just like how you have the mistletoe here. And then, when the rainbow is in the air and then you start kissing or some shit like that, is that what you get in your head? No. Well, most likely people are doing it. But this goes back to some real devil shit. And I have the documentary on that. I think I put it on this channel or I put it on another channel. I'm not sure. But this is some real devil shit. Everything devilish. They make it look cute. If you look at the real story of Cinderella, Snow White, let me see what more. Any story that Disney bring the mermaid thing, any story that they bring out, they changed it, and it was all some devil shit. So they make everything look cute for children, and with candy and sweets and songs. That's how they get you. That's why the Heavenly Father calls them the deceiver, and that's why Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18 is written. Job 20 also, and Deuteronomy 25 and the last verses 17, 18, and 19. That's why it's written. And Numbers 24. That's why that one is also written. But anyway, so it says right here. So they make a pact with the Lord. But let me go on now to the point. Jeremiah 34 and 21. And Zedekiah king of Judah and his princes will I give into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which are gone up from you. So they left already. They left already, right? Behold, I will command, saith Yahweh, and cause them to return to this city, and they shall fight against it and take it and burn it with fire. And I will make the cities of Judah a desolation without an inhabitant. So he's the army. He did that. He called them back. Think about it. Like, you just left from there with peace in mind. And then all of a sudden you'd be like, you know what? Fuck those niggas. I'm going to go get them. Who did that? All of a sudden, he changed his mind. Like, you know what? I don't want to be friends with these motherfuckers. I'm going to get them. Right? Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. That's who did that. He's the army. You know, when the Lord of hosts, it's Yahweh is the army. He's the army. Right, so let me go back to over here. The well. What is a well? A well is, of course, water. If you have plants near here, then you will be able to garden this place and stuff like that. You know, stuff like that. So, Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow, by a well, because he's there, and therefore he will get the prosperity and stuff like that. And he fears Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which I think I just all clicked away. Damn. Anyway, so it says here, when he spake trembling, so here is the fear of the Lord. So this one is Hosea 13:1. When Ephraim spake trembling, because he feared the Lord. So he kept his ways and his law. He was exalted, he exalted himself in Israel, because the Most High said, he that abaseth himself shall be exalted. So this is how you exalt yourself. Just like how this is how you save yourself. Here, it says here, Matthew 22:12, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. If you think yourself to be the shit, you're gonna be shit. Yeah. And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So this is how you exalt yourself, by humbling yourself first down in the physical form. You ain't shit. Yeah. You can bump your toe against something, just a cupboard or something like that, and then you can break it and then get an infection, and from that you can die. Yeah, man. So you ain't all that. Yeah, as human beings, I'm not talking about you or me individually. No. Well, actually, yeah, in general, all of us individually too. We ain't all that, right? 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 16. Take heed unto thyself and to the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing so, let me read it again. Take heed to thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them. For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Yeah. Salvation is that you're not bringing your salvation upon yourself, but to a certain degree you are. But you're not the one that's going to decide it. You know? It's just like, okay, enough of the example. So let me go on. So, same thing here. If you exalt yourself, if you humble yourself, basically you're causing yourself to be exalted by the Lord. Because it actually, but yeah, it's not in fakeness. Like, oh, I'm gonna fake this, and then, I will be exalted by the Lord. No, you really need to be really sincere. You really need to be humble like that. You know what I'm saying? You really need to be like that. You can't just act. Esau is acting as if he's the Judites. Yeah. He think that the Most High is going to be like, well, I don't know anymore. It's been a long time. I think, yeah, but they calling themselves Jews. Okay, so I think that's it. No, that's not going to work. You can fake the funk all you want. You're not it. Right. Whose branches run over the wall. So if you read it, if you go here, it says here son. Hebrew 11:21. It says here son. So it says, Joseph is a fruitful son, but we are also known as trees. For example, a false prophet, you shall know an evil fruit by the evil tree. So that shows you that the evil tree is a man. Okay? But so the point is that the tree is a man. Symbolically sometimes. So it says right here, is a fruitful son, even a fruitful son by a well. I just read that to you in the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse, I think, 3. Psalms. Psalms 1 and 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in his season, which is, the fruits of your labor. You're going to be successful. That also says it here. In everything that you do. Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So that's here, basically, you could kind of say. That bringeth forth his fruit in his season. So in due time, let's say on let's say the 12 months. Okay, let's say you are in the January, but you know you don't really need some sort of form of money. Just for an example's sake, this is just an example. I don't want to talk about money actually, but this is just an example. But then come at, let me see, March or July, and something happens to where, oh my goodness, I really need some money right now because I'm about to lose this or whatever. And then the Most High, in due season, exactly when you do need it, like in due season, he pops you right there with that. Oh my goodness, that must have been the Lord. Because if I had it in January, I would have spent it on something else. I thought, oh, I got some extra money. Let me just spend it on something else and stuff like that, for the kids or whatever, stuff that you do. And then all of a sudden, in due time, you get that. So basically, the Most High is going to give you in due time when it's necessary at that time and moment. When you pray, before you pray, the Most High already know what you need. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper, because you're going to prosper because you are in Yahweh Basham Yahushai. You might be like, well, I'm not prospering now, and I'm praying to the Heavenly Father for like a few years already. Don't worry about that, because Job, he was praying a lot of times, and Paul also, he was praying, but the Most High specifically chose to keep that thorn within him. He was a very weak and fragile man, actually, Paul. Let me see Paul here. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 10. For his letters, say they, the people that he wrote the letters toward, are weighty and powerful, but his body presence is weak, and his speech contemptible, because they had a lot of trouble with the things that he was saying. Contempt, which is no, not that one. It was kind of disrespectful too, but no, it's not that one. It's holding contempt. Offense. His speech was offensive. He was judging you too. But he was saying, when I judge you of something, you can't judge me back, basically. Why? Because I do the deeds of the letter in presence. And here, it says here, I do the deeds in presence and also in the letter when I am absent. I send you the letter, tell you what to do, not because I'm not there, but you only have the letter. That means I'm not doing what I told you to do. Because when you will see me in present, you will know that I do the deeds. And all that there, right? So, right. Let me see where was it? Okay, so prosperity and all that there. So okay, back to here. So Joseph is a fruitful son, even a fruitful son by a well, because he's always with Yahweh while he was. But anyway, whose branches run over the wall. What are the branches? His daughter villages. The daughter villages. And you can catch that in the book of (22). Didn't I have it here? Oh, I didn't write it here. Damn. Where is it then? Joshua. If I'm correct, it's in Joshua. Joshua 21. Oh man, wait a minute. Okay, I found it. I wrote it here. So it says here, the book of whose branches run over the water. Now, if you go to here, the branches is talking about here. So 13:23, daughter villages. And then you go to Joshua 15:45. Akron is also a place with her towns and her villages. And then you look again here, Hebrew 13:23. And then you have it here again, and it says here, daughter villages. So Genesis 49:22 says, Joseph is a fruitful son, even a fruitful son by a well of water, because of Psalms 1:3, right? Whose branches, whose daughter villages run over the wall. Now, what does that mean? In the physical form, you should imagine this. This is how bursting forth the children of Ephraim are. They just grow over the wall, and you have plants growing on the wall. For example, I'm just giving you the physical form, not the spiritual one. I'll just read the physical first. Plants growing on the wall or through the wall, but yeah, here, that's one I want. So you have, this is basically Joseph. He covers the walls. And that is a representative of his children. They have a lot of them. So back over here, Joseph is a fruitful son, even a fruitful son by a well of water. Because a tree near water will always have fruits in due season, in the physical form, like an actual physical tree. But that's Joseph also. Yeah? Whose branches run over the wall, because there's so many and they grow over everything in the physical form, like a tree grows over everything and everything. Well, that's basically Joseph in a nutshell. Ephraim too, because this name was changed later on into Ephraim. Okay, 1 Kings chapter 5 verse 1 speaks of the king of Tyre, and verse 6, I'll just go to the point. So it says here, for thou knowest, because King Solomon was talking to the prince of Tyre, or the king of Tyre. For thou knowest that there is not among us Israelites any that can skill to hew timber, like unto the Sidonians. So what is he saying? You're the Sidonians, but you live in Tyre. Right, that's the point. So, yeah, these Ishmaelites, they want to steal the legacy and the history of the Canaanites. They want to steal that. So they're going to pay that for that too. And Esau's pushing them. Esau's pushing them in their movies, and now they're feeling themselves because Esau put them there in the movies. Okay? So all that there, let me just scratch all that there. Alright, so sorry about that. Okay, now back to the book of Ezekiel 20. So now in America, they find out that these people don't like them like that. They don't see. Me personally, look. I have no Somalian friend whatsoever. I know better. I know, like, look, some of them might be cool and stuff like that, but any nation, I'm not. I see them as what they are because I see what they do. And look, if you hate the hair texture, I'm already like your enemy. Like, I don't care who you are. You could be darker than me and stuff like that. I'm already looking at you. Like, I'm looking down on you. You're not going to make my ancestors feel ugly. Fuck you, young. Not in my eyes. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm not down with that shit. So, I know what they say and things and stuff. That's why I got a few scriptures on layaway for those type of people. Zephaniah 2:12. You Cushites also, ye shall be slain by my swords. But you also, I know you should know better too. You should also know that here you have the Sabians, that we will sell slaves unto them. So some of them Sabians are cool. I do know that. In Isaiah 45 also shows you that, some of the Sabians and stuff like that, they will acknowledge the Jacob descendants. So I'm not talking about 100% of them, but them Somalians, Zephaniah 2:12. That's what I think of them. Is the 100% of them? No, but a big portion of it. You fucking right. You're right. A big portion of them. Like I said, look at their hair. This is not my people, man. Get the fuck out of here. I know that, but in America, they just found out. They just found out through the internet, by the way, because they're not really around them, most likely. Or I heard they was now, since recently not recent, but yeah, more recent toward their attention span, that they can see, their radar that they can see, that they're paying attention to and focusing. They are in Minnesota and stuff like that, or some other place in America, and now they're starting to realize that these people are racist. Of course they are. I mean, everybody knows that. You should know that. You should know that every time you see a Somalian, you see like, okay, this guy think he better than me. That's what I see with a lot of Jacob descendants too, man. I look at your fucking face, man. You know. Anyway, going on. So these are the wickedness that they were doing in the land. Here, Leviticus 18:3. They was doing these wicked things in the land. So now going back to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 23. Dost thou call us to verse 21? Dost thou call us to remembrance the lewdness of thy youth, and bruising thy teats by the Egyptians for the paps of thy youth? So I just read it in the book of Leviticus 18:3. They was doing these type of things, right? So therefore, O Aholiba is talking about the southern tribes, Judah and Benjamin, then the southern kingdom, the kingdom of Judah. Thus saith Yahweh the power, behold, I will raise up thy lovers against thee. That's what I want. I want all these house Negroes to feel that really wrath from their lovers. And they're going to feel it. I just want to see it. I just want to see it. I want to see this. This is what I want to see. And I pray, I remember a few, hey man, because they know that we teaching and stuff like that. Well, back in the days, I should say. But guy came to me talking about, these white people over there called me a monkey. He's hanging around with them. Man, I got so heated, man. I got to get the fuck out of here, man. You think I'm just going to fight for you? Knowing you a house Negro? And now you found out that they hate your guts too, calling you a monkey. Because you good for you. You hanging around with them, right? You was their friend, right? And he was coming up against the word of Yahweh Basham Yahshai. Anyway, these guys I can't wait for them to be put to death by their lovers. I don't even want to touch them. I want their friend to get them. From who thy mind is alienated, and I will bring them from who thy mind, alienated from the Lord, because we started to serve after their gods. Then you're alienated from the Lord. And I will bring them against thee on every side. Every last single individual one of them that we loved turned against us. 2 Chronicles chapter 20 verse 10. And now behold, the children of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir, whom thou wouldest not let Israel invade when they came out of the land of Mizraim, but they turned from them and destroyed them not, because they listened to the Lord, right? But check this out. Behold, I say, how they reward us, to come to cast us out of thy possession, which thou hast given us to inherit. So, just because you spare them, doesn't mean that they will spare you in that time of hated it. Because they already hate you by nature, as a collective. Look, what have the so-called black man done to the Japanese people in recent history, to the Chinese people in his recent history, to the other Hamitic people? Because Mount Seir used to be of Ham. Genesis chapter 36 shows you that Seir is a Hamite and Horite is a Hamite, but he was called Seir the Horite, and Hori was his son, but he was called Seir the Horite, right? That means hairy cave dweller. That is what that Hamite, his name was known throughout all that whole region. Everybody knew him as the hairy cave dweller. If you look up the word Seir and you look up the word Hori, as in Horites, you will see that Hori means cave dweller and then Seir means hairy. So hairy cave dweller, that is what he is, Seir the Horite. So there was some hairy Hamites, I should say. But anyway, so now Esau too, by the way. That's why it's prophetic that Esau later succeeded them and took them over. But my point is, in the beginning, it was Seir, Ham, Canaan. It was Ham, is the same. And then it was the Canaanites and the Edomites. And then it was only the Edomites. Yeah. But nowadays, when you go to the UN seat, what do you have there? You have them Hamites there. Oh. The UN seat, sorry, UN. You have them Hamites sitting there, here. These are them Hamites sitting there. And this is Dominican Republic. Do you acknowledge yourself? Boy, you just got some caucus people speaking the Roman Latin over there, ruling over those people over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just once you go to like South America and the Brazil and stuff like that, the higher you go in the politics, the Caucaser they get, or the East Indian they get. Like for example, now you have a coolie female, but back before that you had a coolie male. So these are the peoples that are ruling over these people. He's a fucking demon too. He was walking around with a how you call that thing? Woo, with a Woo World Health Organization, this brochure, but it says Woo. It goes into that. So he had that. And then if you go to Guyana, what do you have there as president? Another coolie. How the fuck are these people coming from the other side of the planet Earth? Yeah, they're here. Here, how the fuck are these people coming from the other side of the planet Earth to come and rule over the Jacob descendants? Who the fuck think you? Who you think put them there? Maybe it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I always knew I couldn't trust these motherfuckers. They're always under the sewers and stuff like that. They got a rat as a father. I never trusted them. Who do you think? It's Esau, man. Esau did it. Esau's the one that put these motherfuckers in front, above you, and they're having a fabulous life over there. Meanwhile, they couldn't even clean this shit up. And I don't have to type in Indian people take a shit on the street. I don't even have to type that because, you know, it's a YouTube video. But you can type that for yourself. Here, Indians, you can just do that. Just do that. You know, even people from that born here or another country that go back to India for vacation instead, when they come back, they say it smells like shit. As soon as the plane door opens, want to get the fuck back into the plane. A lot of comedians say that. I forgot his name. He's from England. I forgot his name, man. He's the only one. This one. This one is funny. He might be a Jake. I don't know. I just think he's funny. So yeah, that shows you I don't hate all of them. But then again, how you call that thing? Music and entertainment and stuff like that might make you. It will make you change your mind towards certain people. Look, they hate us, but they watch basketball, but they hate you. And don't forget that. As a people, they hate you. Oh, he's just one of them good niggers, you know. I like that guy, but the other guy I don't like the fucking like. See, they don't like you. They like individuals. Well, I do the same thing too. You got a problem with that? Then you should chin check yourself first, because I'm just doing what you do. So that's if you hate me, you hate yourself. So basically, that's what it is. So behold, I say how they reward us. They hate your guts. As soon as they get that chance, they're gonna get you. So that includes the Hamites too. And it says also here, yeah, basically, listen, I don't need to read the rest. So on every side, all of them will turn against us. And by the way, it doesn't say Aram there, but those motherfuckers were right there too, but not at that particular moment in time, specific moment in time, not that one, but other times they did, because the Chaldeans, the Ishmaelites, and the Syrians, and a few others, they joined forces often to come and fight against us, man. Often. What? That's a lot of alliances that you sons of bitches is doing. Really? Like, really? God damn. May goddamn all y'all. And he will, once that time comes. Now they're walking around blessed with the chest up in the air. Going on. Verse 23. The Babylonians. So Ezekiel 23, verse 23. The Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekod, and Shoah, and Koah, and all the Assyrians with them. See? I told you. They're coming against us, man. I just told you about them. I just read another chapter where you have Moab and Ammon and what was it again? Seir. Which is, you know, Esau and more Esau now, especially later times. But in the middle time, it was actually in the beginning time, it was actually the Hamites, and then after that, it was the Hamites and the Edomites, and then after that, it was predominantly Edom. But you had Canaanites in their midst too, man. You know, they made babies with them, man, and their men laid around with Esau's daughters. So it's a whole. Until this day, there are Canaanites in the midst of these Edomites, man. That's one of the reasons I think. Look, I can't prove it to you. I'm not into that XY chromosome shit. I just look with the spirit. That's why you have, to me, this is an opinion. Just like Paul. Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, he says, this is commandment of the Lord. But then in the same chapter, he says, look, this is not a commandment of the Lord. This is of my opinion. This is my judgment and stuff like that. And I also think I am a man of spirit. I also think that the Holy Spirit is with me. So me personally, I take the advice of Paul, and I also listen to him according to the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. So I double fold with him. So yeah, but anyway, shit. Now I lost what I wanted to say. Damn it, I was gonna type something here. Damn. Wow, I forgot. Anyway, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekah and Shoah and Koah and all the Assyrians with them. So all of them, they came against the Jacob descendants along with the other tribes from the other nations from time to time, different seasons and stuff like that. All of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses. And they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels, and with an assembly of people, because they're gonna assemble the people. Jeremiah 25. Here, they're gonna assemble the people around about them, which shall set against thee bucklers and shield and a helmet round about. And I will set judgment before thee. The Most High is doing it. He is the army that's actually came against us. And they shall judge thee according to their judgment. So according to their laws, they're going to judge us. Nowadays, we are being judged by Esau laws. How? For example, if you so-called break up with her or she break up with you, she still gets half. That's according to his judgment. Or, let me see, you get to pay alimony and stuff like that. I think they have also now friend alimony and stuff like that. You don't even have to be married, just live with each other for a long time, and then she can still get money from you. So according to their judgments, let me see what a judgment that's in the Bible, but that Esau doesn't listen to. He judged you out of his penal code. Let me see which one. Yeah, the child support, and yeah, you go to jail. You go to jail if you can't pay the money, to your girl. And let me see, according to their judgments and stuff like that. And they are our judges, because the Heavenly Father showed you that. But we're gonna judge him back. Don't worry, because just like Job, it says here, that the Lord giveth and he taketh. That's what the caucus is teaching. But if you read the scriptures, then you will know that the Lord giveth and taketh and give it back. That part we're gonna get, and that last part, give it back. He give it, he take it, but he give it back. That's the one that we're going into right now, Lord willing, of course. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 31. For their God is not as our power, Yahweh. Even our enemies themselves being judges. They are our judges, because the Most High uses them to judge us. Since you want to be stupid, you want to be their friend. Hey, stupid, you want to be their friend. The Most High is going to get you for that. The Most High is going to get you for that. So that's why I'm looking at these house Negroes like, okay, cool cat. Cool cat. 25. I hope you get some kids with them. Yeah. Walk around pregnant. I can't wait. Heavenly Father willing, of course. We shall see what the Lord will allow me to do, if I am able to do it, if I am allowed to do it, if I am capable of doing it, like if he puts me in that position. Yeah, we shall see. 25. And I will set my jealousy against you. That's the death, or dying. That's his jealousy. You went off. You got his baby in your belly. Meanwhile, you with me. I'm talking about two Jake, man and woman, and then she goes and sleep with another Jake. It doesn't necessarily have to be an Edomite. I'm just giving an example now of a different example. You as a Jacob man with your Jacob wife, and then she goes and sleep with another Jacob descendant man. What? Both of them need to be put to death. But Lord willing, for now in 2025. Oh yeah, that's another law of Esau's judgment, how he would judge us, right? Esau, his judgment would be like, you can't kill her. If you kill her, you gonna be put in jail, and you might get the death penalty. So we're being judged by his laws right now. And even Yahweh Shai said, like, don't kill her. Now, if you smack the shit out of her, I wouldn't mind, but I would tell you, like, don't do that neither. That's not a good idea. But I understand your fury. Believe me, I am a furious man within myself. Especially when somebody does some bullshit and they keep on doing that shit. I lose my marbles, yeah? But anyway, it's all good. Heavenly Father willing, calm down. Like, I'm always cool, calm, and collective, especially when I'm not around people that I hate. So then I'm turning. It's like, I don't know. It's like Hulk or some shit like that. I don't know. The angrier I get, I'm not stronger or something like that. But it boils. Anyway, that's what I think I'm being done wrong. I'm furious now. And then anyway, and they shall deal furiously with thee, right? Because of the jealousy of the Lord, he's going to turn them against you. You want to be, that's your lover? Huh. That's why I'm looking at the Asiatic female right now. Look, I don't want them. But I know, I see what I see. And I see like, oh, that's how Jacob descendant females used to turn on us. The Asiatic female is turning heavily on the Asiatic men. And I love it. Because the Asiatic men, they hate us. That's the reason I love it too. And I'm laughing at them. I'm laughing at them because Esau is taking the women. And they swear up and down. I'm not swearing, but they are swearing. They swear up and down that Esau's only taking the ugly ones. Are you lying to yourself, man? I'm not even attracted to them. And I see some beautiful women I'm racist as fuck, but I see some beautiful women among them and stuff like that. And all of them got caucus males. So I'm like, you just lying to yourself right about now, man. They taking all the good ones, man, and I don't even want. And I can still admit, like, hey, that's a pretty chick what you got right there. and you say the ugly ones? Are you stupid? You're lying to yourself, man. Anyway, and they shall deal furiously with thee. They shall take away thy nose and thine ear. And by the way, the ear goes into how you call that thing? Bore your ear, because King David used to say, something with ear. Give ear and stuff like that. Here, give ear, all my people, to my instructions. So the Most High basically, let me read it again. They shall take away thy nose and thine ear. Basically, the following of we were supposed to follow Yahweh, but you're not gonna pay attention anymore when they beat your ass, and then afterward. But nowadays they kissing their ass and stuff like that. But once that time comes, you're gonna see that they're gonna flee from their enemies because they're lovers, I should say, which are their enemies, but they're the lovers now. They're gonna show them the ropes. And thy remnant shall fall by the sword. They shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured by the fire. They're going to enslave them. Until this day, they buy Jacob descendants' sons and daughters for adoptiveness. And let me see. What's that female name again? Just like a woman. This female has a Jacob descendant boy that she dresses up like a girl. She raises him as a woman. You know, look, she raises him as a woman, man. This is what they do. They buy your daughters and your sons. She is not raising this one as a boy. She's raising this one this boy as a girl, but most of the time they're not raising girls as boys because a boy is the threat. This is the equivalent, fancy word right there. This is the same thing that they would do in the time of this is a beast also. I just saw this little piece of shit looking at me. But this is what they did in the time of Exodus chapter 1, I think it's 1, where they used to kill the boys and keep the daughters alive. Why? Well, you should think for yourself what you can do to the daughters instead of what you can do with the boys. You should think that way. Right, so it says right here, and it was, okay.